Yes. Welcome back to a brand new episode, another episode 68 of Sleep.
I'm sorry, now that intro is crazy.
It
It
is.
always gets me inspired and amped, man. It sounds like some real superhero, like Dark Knight, Superman flying through the night type stuff.
It really does, dude. It's the perfect intro music for Super MC, for real.
Man, love it, love it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of Super MC.
Peace, y'all.
Peace to everybody. The topic this week, we're going to just get right into it. We're doing our album review episode. So we're reviewing 3 albums from 3 groups that are part of Native Tongue. Now, normally when we say Native Tongue, who's the first groups we mention?
Tribe, De La.
Of course. Respectively so. But, of course, there's still Jungle Brothers. There's
Absolutely.
Black Sheep.
Unquestionably.
There's Leaders of the New School.
No doubt about it.
So we're going to review an album from all 3 of those groups. Jungle Brothers' second album, Black Sheep's first album, and Leader's first album. Ugh.
Crazy.
We'll start with the Jungle Brothers. Anything you want to say about that album done by Forces of Nature before we get started, Vic?
Just salute out to my brother DJ Don Juan, who put me onto that album. I was blessed to have a brother in the basement at the parents' crib who just kept me abreast and aware to all of like the classics before they became classics and everything that was going on with these incredible, impactful groups. This album here in particular was one of them that just like was one of the first diverse albums that I ever heard where it incorporated a little bit of club, some like Afrocentric sounds combined with it, and just like it felt like a cultured album to me. You know what I mean? Like just all types of different elements. So
yeah,
I mean, it was spitting. The production was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was really the first of its kind before the native tongues, in my opinion, really evolved and grew into what they grew into.
Yeah.
So you could kind of say this was almost like the beginning of the family tree.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, yeah. I will say the beginning of the family tree to me is their first album.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Jungle Brothers in general.
Album, yes. And this album might have been the antithesis to the next level for everybody. Yes. But when this album came out, Low End Theory came out. De La Soul is Dead came out. I could stop there.
Yes.
I mean, it's when they all stepped to the next. Because their first albums were all classics and great works of art. But their second albums and their third albums, oh, come on.
And it's crazy how each one of them literally, like, I mean, you could say even with Leaders that to me, that album was slept on. Like it didn't get the credit that it deserved.
Yeah.
But phenomenal follow-up.
So, so I had a fun fact that was actually about Leaders. And since you mentioned this now, I'm just going to bring it up before we get started.
Okay.
So Leaders' second album, when they recorded it, they submitted it to the record label. And the label wasn't really too crazy about it, which I kind of understand, because even when I first heard it, it took me a while later to really appreciate how dope that album was in its totality.
Now, why is that?
I don't know. I just wasn't totally into it. I don't know if it was the beats, because they were spitting, but I wasn't into it like I was the first one.
Okay.
I think maybe I was expecting more of the first. When the second album, they were kind of growing into more, but it was still them.
Right.
But I love it now. So anyway, the label wasn't crazy about it. So their solution was, we're going to go back and redo this album, at least most of it. And we're going to have Q-Tip produce most of it. The only person that was down with that was Busta. The rest of the crew was like, no, this is the album.
That's interesting. No, I never heard this story.
Right. So as dope as that album is, imagine how dope it would have been if they were all in like Busta and was like, yeah, come on, Tip, sure. Because Ali was over there doing the same thing with Fushnikins. He was doing a lot of production for their first album on the low. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was assigned that job. So Tip was over here and he was going to do that with Leaders with their second album, but they didn't want to do it. So it even makes more sense when we noticed that Busta became the one that was down with Tribe and not all of Leaders.
All of Leaders, right.
Scenario.
Wow. Interesting story. I never heard that.
Right.
Interesting fun facts.
Oh, that album was still dope though.
Yeah, connections
behind it, because you know what Tip did to albums on the low when he was like the ghost executive producer of someone's project.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, before we get to Q-Tip, like we said, here we're gonna start with the Jungle Brothers because this is where it started. I mean, this is their second album, but this is the group it started with.
Right. Yeah,
okay. We're gonna get started. All right, here we go.
At the jam on the break down. Round and round, upside down, living my life underneath the ground. Never heard of and hardly seen a whole lot of talk about the red, black, and green. So dirty, you didn't want to deal with it. So funky, you didn't want to get with it. But that's alright, no problem, cool. Sent to the earth to educate the fool. Waiting around for my shell to crack. After that, you can't hold me back. Looking out for the danger signs. Jungle Brothers bringing forth a change in time. Left, right, up, as from which angle? Straight up the middle, reality's the riddle. Sending a message to the old and young, confused about where I come from. What planet, what channel, what station? Africa from the Zulu nation. Confused on land and no understanding, but I knew not to give what life was demanding. Found a new tap, thought I'd take a grab. Tired of brothers who fiend the backstab. Beating a bigger drum, better days will come, and if they don't come, I get up and make some. First you crawl before you walk. First you think before you talk. I found in life that you wear a hard hat. Protect your mind and bad things will stay back. Vultures flocking around on corners. Snakes slide through our law and order. You slip away and I get older. Leaves hit the ground and it gets colder. Heart pumps faster so I get bolder. I asked my brother to take over my mellow Uncle Sam. Some listen but still don't hear. Some seem far but all real near. I climb a mountain to reach a kingdom, and if they're willing, sure I'll bring them. I think to the needy and then to the greedy. Rely on the heaven and earth to feed me. Move to the motions of the moon. Take out your shade, y'all. The sun comes soon. To plan my day, I look at the sky. I see rain and I still ask why. Broke the airwaves, trying to mend waves. Finally came through, became a mondo. Frequencies I kept on fighting. Satellite what I was writing. 3 years later, finally got through, came through in stereo. So hello everybody and how y'all doing? We're gonna say a few words and keep on stepping. People watching to see what we would do live on it. You heard us say to you, the city's a jungle and we are the brothers. This so-called king of the jungle will run for cover. All of your minds have been set into a trance. So instead of fighting out our problems, we are the y'all to dance. Yeah! We want y'all to dance, y'all. That's right. Y'all don't be hanging around. Yo, homeboy, you on the side. Yeah, you lean on that wall. If I want to walk, if I go to the store, you gotta get up and dance, homeboy. Yeah, to the ladies, you got to shake it like wiggly wiggly. Grab it on. Come on now. Man. Yeah, the Jungle Brothers be dancing. The guys from West be dancing. Live Teacher be dancing. You know the 45 came back to London.
Like I said, man, this was one of the first albums that I can remember hearing where it was crazy diverse, different elements mixed in with hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you had the What You Waiting For? Like it just, yeah. I don't even want to give away all the goodies, but it just had a lot of different elements that I could appreciate on this album that I had really never heard before on other albums. Like there were definite classics, obviously, but none like this album. It was its own entity. Honestly.
Own entity. And big up to everyone in the comments. Big up to Inspired Artist Movement. Big up to our dude, Mad. Salute to
That's
you.
my guy.
Big up to the brother Lynn Small. Big up, brother.
Inspired Artist Movement. Love you. Thank you for supporting and tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
Yes. Well said, brother. Yeah. They and you know, where Tribe came in with the jazz and stuff, they were something else. Like you said, they were all these other things with music. It was jazz, it was funk, it was Afro rhythm beats, it was tribal, and all the messaging throughout the entire project was positive, was pro-black, was pro-humanity. Like, listen to these lyrics as we're grooving. You know what I'm saying? This next song, I mean, the title says it, but it definitely makes me feel it. Like, feeling all right.
Zigga 2, zigga 3, zigga 8. Minding my business, hanging on the scene. Kangaroos roll by, but I was clean. All decked out in my tiger skin suit, hair braided up in my jungle brother boots. Hopped on the vine and swung through the city. Today's your day, said the neighborhood gypsy. Kept on trucking till the other side of town, the place where we're gonna go to get down. Jam packed in one green light. Now the crumb cracking, I'm feeling alright.
That jacket coming off already.
After 5 and all systems go. Packing my gear, heading for the next show. Cooling on the stoop, waiting for my ride. My man keeps steps to my side. Chris pulls up, Uncle Sam next to him. I step to the curb, he says, "Come on, get it!" Grandma waved as Chris hits the gas. My hat flew off and Keith just laughed. Africa's with Sam holding onto his seat as Sam does 92 a new Bush beat. Arrived to the show with no time to spare. Check in the mirror, run my hand through my hair. Offer drinks and drugs to get me high. I put my hands in my pocket and passed them by.
Hold on. He said they offered beer and drugs to get me high. I threw my hands in the air and passed them on by. Like he was like saying like, yo, because you know what happens at a lot of these shows. It's a lot of alcohol and drugs, in particular weed. Well, just drugs, period, and all types of stuff. And here they were promoting like, yeah, we're in the mix of all of that, but we good. We just soulful. We just rocking.
Like my man Nan said, good vibes and storytelling. You know, it was nothing extra, no gimmicks.
No.
Just, and I miss that. I miss that within hip hop.
Yeah. I miss that so much. And you said it in a conversation we had. This album, for them, it was like their Midnight Marauders.
Yes.
You know, where their first album, like all of theirs, was classic. You know, their first album, Straight Out the Jungle, People's Instinctive Travels, you know, everyone else's first ones, classics. But their second one was like Midnight Marauders, though.
And one of the things that I could appreciate was that unlike, like, even though Kid and Play is well respected and classic, it was, the beats were rugged. You know, it was clean, it was respectful, great vibes, great energy, great messages, but it wasn't considered like, or maybe to some, it was like a little nerdy or it was before Backpack. All these major, you know, labels started to really, my point that I was trying to make either last week or a couple weeks ago, like there were really no underground or Backpack or conscious. It was just great hip hop, great vibes, great messages. Simple as that. That's it. That was this time that I remember it being like.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
They made it cool for those kids who either grew up in the hood but wasn't like living the street life and was just regular kids.
Or advocating it.
Right, or advocating it. And they were, and also the regular kids that was just living in the burbs eventually, like myself, you know,
and
you know,
like myself as well.
And you just felt like they felt like us. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, So, all right, we're gonna keep going, man. Feeling All Right was amazing. Kid and Play ain't gonna hurt
nobody.
Ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Hey, just ask Luke.
Although on the low, which many don't know, Play used to be a stick-up kid before he rapped.
I was just thinking that.
Like a real deal sawed-off shotgun stick-up kid.
It wasn't just a class act. Like the role he played. All point intended. All point intended.
Yeah, it was not a class act at all. He was stick him up. Like he was, yeah. But anyway, all right. Back to the goodness.
WJBS on your radio dial. Good morning of the Fox that rocks the box. Expect sunshine today, for yesterday's rain has faded far away. Now we seek a brand new day.
Listen.
Brand new way. Learn, my brothers and sisters. Learn.
Nighttime fades away. On to the next day. The weatherman predicts a clear sunny Saturday. Relax, lay back, and feeling the cool breeze. Positive vibes and soft-scented melodies. Gather my leaves and all my minerals. Fix myself a bowl of vegetables. Ice cold water and chopped up fruit. Gonna be a long day, so I throw on my boots. Stretch out my heart and beyond. The sun rises. Clouds gather round and suddenly hides it. Double back cause it started pouring. Children scared of the thunder roaring. Given the light, but now there's darkness. Started with intelligence, now there's ignorance. Negative vibes, now I don't feel right. I want my sunshine, I want my sunlight. Same old story over and over. Somebody trying to take knowledge over. So I fight back with a native dance. Sing my song and chant my chants. Rain, rain, go away. Please come back another day. The sun was shining, now the sky is gray. Please rain, go away.
Pavement sweats as a hot day sets in. I need to cool off, so I find me a hydrant. Pull out my wrench and turn on a happy face. See some buckets, I think they'll be a chase. Water splashing, children laughing. Open this feeling will keep on lasting. A shot rings out and a young girl hits the ground. Someone wasn't in the mood for playing around. The mother cries and she's her young one. But the mother fool while playing in the hot sun. Kangaroos came and cleared out the area. Covered her up so the sun won't beat her. The sun still shines, but the day now feels great. Oh, Mr. Rain, would you please go away? The sun still shines, but the day now feels great. Oh, Mr. Rain, would you please go away?
Rain, go away. Please come back another day. The sun was shining, now the sky is gray. Please rain, go away.
And listen, I know this is right up your alley. They had a bunch of noises and sounds throughout this entire album.
Oh my God. Did they ever?
It was like 3 just in this song.
Yes. And it's, you know me with the voices, pianos, like chants or whatever. Like I'm through. I'm done.
Yeah, that was just a great feeling song. That Sunshine, like great messaging.
Did you have any favorites off the album?
It's hard to say because it was so many.
Yeah.
It was almost the entire album. You know, to be honest with you.
It's facts.
Like almost everything I'm playing off of this album tonight is some of my favorites. I don't know. What about you? Do you have a favorite?
It's really that same thing. The first joint was the first song, literally in the first single off the album that I just loved. What You Waiting For video with my man Chris Lighty was in there, you know, with the cool cameo and the Soul Train Don Cornelius. Like, that's the thing with these albums, man. They gave you complete bodies of work, complete packages, visuals. Everything was on point, at least to me. Yeah. You know, you could let the album rock straight through. Food for thought, like great vibes, dance to, chill with your lady to, everything. So yeah, I really couldn't give you a favorite off this album. Yeah, maybe the joint, the JB's Coming Through, maybe that. I don't know. It's really tough. My man Mike Rawls, what up, Mike? Salute, brother. Yo,
And you just mentioned this song. I mean, this was the next one on the list. This right here. You talk about jamming on the one. Like Theo said in the Cosby Show,
jamming on the one.
Jamming on the one.
Jamming on the one.
La, 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 la. baby.
La, la, la.
Yo! I definitely can't do a highlight clip of this because we'll be canceled for,
I know.
Shit from the Cosby Show. Lynn said this was back when groups and artists had to be original. It was against the culture to sound like someone else, without question. Let
me just elaborate on that point. What I can't stand, it's not that serious, but you'll hear some groups when they're asked, I hear some similarities within you and the crew that you run with. Oh, we all from the same crew, whatever. So that's why it sounds similar. But to your point, the native tongues may have had like a small percentage of similarities, but they all had their own thing. De La Soul is Dead did not sound like Done by the Forces of Nature. Like Black Sheep's Wolf in Sheep's Clothing did not sound like A Future Without a Past. Like they were all dope and all different.
Yep.
It's crazy.
And to your point, they were all dope and different from each other, yet they all had that taste and aroma and feel of native tongue.
Yes.
It all just felt like this is cut from a similar cloth. It's different. It's different garments, but it's cut from the same cloth. He said, facts, Lynn Small. It's hailed now for some reason. Yes, SMH.
Yeah, no originality, required, and just anything goes.
And to Lynn's point before, he mentioned, they also had house vibes. Of course they did with Girl, I'll House You. You know what I'm saying? This joint right here, though, this was perfect for a party. And it set the scene also for what it was like being up when you stepping up in the joint.
Oh, yeah. Like the way this is going down. Yeah. I think we need a little something extra. I think that's it. We're going to have a good time tonight. Got on my shoes, got on my shirt. Come on, jump up, freak a hustle, do what you want, but move every muscle. Ain't no time for playing around. Only one thing to do when you hear this sound. Act yourself with someone else and make sure yourself ain't by yourself. Dying to get on the dance floor. Girl, what you waiting for? Yeah. Come on over and swing with me. Take your mind out your misery. Tomorrow's gonna be another day. Tonight I'm gonna take it light. Grab the world and put it on hold. Relax my body and rest my soul. Feel the vibe surrounding me. Feel the bass come down on me. Yeah, shake your butt, but don't break your back. Tap your feet and let your fingers snap. No matter what size, shape, or color, we can jam and enjoy each other. Music's pumping, I feel something. Must be my blood and heartbeat thumping. You spent your funds to pass through the door. You know there's room for you on the floor. You don't know if there'll be any more. So yo, what you waiting for?
Waiting the time.
Yeah. Some playing the wall, I wasn't with that. Not living like that. You ain't with it, let me hear you say ho. You ain't with it, let me hear you say ow. Ready to boogie, I had on my dancing shoes. Ain't in the mood to be singing no blues. So if you wanna be a little disco ducker, I came here tonight too. So good morning, good afternoon, good night. Don't let the bed buzz right. Going way out and I'm aiming to please. You wanna have a good time, climb up my trees. Come on, what you waiting for? Come on, what you waiting for?
Waiting the timeless time.
Yeah, side to side, and just let it ride. Give it what you got, no need to hide. You're allowed as long as you're able. Take away the chairs and move away the tables. I'm doing my thing, working around you. Lay there screaming. We won't say much on that note now because I'm not quite sure that you know how. But keep on dancing. Yeah, keep on dancing. Baby, I'm not clocking you, I'm just glancing. And what I see is a 5-figure 8. make me wait.
Yeah, waiting for the DJ to play my song. Oh Lord, I must have waited all night long. The joint was packed and it looked like a jungle. I felt at home. There goes my song. So I hit the floor and jumped on the cake. Sweat pouring from my face. Clothes was wet, but I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're saying. So come on, girl, come on, girl, come on. Let's get it on. Dying to get out on the floor. I waited long enough, I can't wait no more. Come on, girl, come on, girl, come on. Let's get it on. Dying to get out on the dance floor. I waited long enough, I can't wait no more. Yeah.
What is that?
To the very last second, to the last few seconds, dude, they was rocking.
Who was abusing that ghost in the studio? That ghost was sitting in the corner like, whoa, hurry up and loop this shit.
Oh my God, dude, that song, that I could never listen to that song without envisioning that video.
Yeah.
You know, I could never do it.
No. I love that part in the video where he steps to the to the chick that, you know, has a little bit of weight to her. And
they start doing the bump. Yeah.
I love that. Like, it was playful, it was fun. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That was that to me, that video and this song totally encapsulated that and captured that house party vibe from that time.
No doubt about it. And the other funky thing about it was, to this day, I've never heard anybody misuse the treat 'em right, the original joint.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Not Chubb Rock. I'm talking about the original with the drum pack. I can't remember the original break record, but
no, I know what you're talking about.
Treat 'em right. Yeah. Everybody's always done it justice. So big ups to the Jungle Brothers. Classic record, classic video, classic album.
Classic. Okay, we're gonna keep moving. What up, Steve? Peace to you, brother.
Steve, salute.
Word up. He said the JB album was so dope. Love the last joint. Word. Okay, we're gonna keep going. They was just rocking on this album.
Crazy.
Okay. It's called You Make Me Sweat.
We're too hard for this. Everybody getting on my back. Some say you just don't know how to act. Africa, you act too wild. Get away from me, you cramp my style. Lovely lady, can't you see? This is what you do to me. Got me working to the bone. Then you ask why I ain't home. Work all day and then at night I come running home to treat you right. Try to spend time with my two children, but this world has got me going round and round. I just can't stop. On and on, I might just drop, tripping and falling, but that's okay. I do it all for you anyway. Do my best just to please you, and in return, this is what you do. You make me sweat, you make me work, you make my body wanna go do the jerk. You make me sweat, you make me work, you make my body wanna go do the jerk.
Pretty little mama, what's your kick? I like to know what makes you tick. Off to work, all ready up. As I watch you, I'm all get it up. I like to know where your mind is at. But you say you ain't got no time for that. I try to test you, put on the pressure. Finally got you on the spot. Now I regret every effort I made. You finally gave in, now you want to invade. I can't tell my left from my right. Sweet girl, you got my head feeling like everybody asks what's wrong with my G. Now you tell me you're having a baby. Jimmy had I blame it on you.
It's all because of you.
not a problem that I can't fix. It's not a problem. It's not a problem that. It's not a problem that I can't fix. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
Remember last year in the summertime?
They had some killer bridges.
Yes, they did. It wasn't often that you would hear it in hip hop either.
Right.
It's crazy.
They had some. The arrangement of the music on this album was just crazy.
And my man, Mad Nine, he pointed out the sample. Now, this was really. I mean, this would typically be like considered a West Coast sound and beat.
Yes.
Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay. You pointed out something excellent. I saw J-Ro from the Alcoholics talking about this album, and he pointed out the fact that he was like, that was one of the first times he remembered somebody from the East Coast really using that sample like that, in that kind of way. And he was like, he was open off of that because that song is like a Cali classic.
It definitely is.
You know, so yeah, you're absolutely right.
Crazy.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, Steve Jimmy had I blame it on you. That's what he said. Yeah. Yep. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one was sampling, for the most part, Zapp back then, except for Eric Sermon.
Right.
That was it.
Love the lyrics. And like Heavy D said, don't curse. Exactly. Exactly. Great point, man.
They haven't really cursed yet on here. Yeah.
It was still hard. It was still funky. It was still creative. It was still cool.
Yeah.
It just didn't need to.
Yep. Cool, creative, funky, all those things. And then you got a song like this that's all of that. Plus, it's actually knowledgeable. And that's acknowledge your own history.
You don't know who you are. Look back into your past, brother. Look back into your past, sister. You don't
listen to these lyrics.
Who you are.
Listen.
Look back into your past, sister. Look back into your past, brother.
My forefather was a king. He wore fat gold chains and fat ruby rings. Nobody believes this to be true. Maybe it's because my eyes ain't blue. You ain't gonna find it in your history book. Come here, young blood, then take a look. You dig down deep inside this hardcover. Don't you know that you was born, brother? All you read about is slavery, never about the black man's bravery. You look at the pictures and all they show is African people with bones in their noses. That ain't true. That's a lie. You didn't get that from my lemon pie.
Yeah, I cut class. I got a D. Cause history meant nothing to me except a definite nap. That's why I often sat on my back. I taught the girls to write a rhyme cause I didn't know all times a black man's time. When I was young, my mama told me stories of black people's fight to bring us glory. I used to think these were stories to put me to sleep. But now I know mama's talk wasn't cheap. I know Africa's for Africans and history's the blood of every woman and man.
Now I begin another search. The incredibly involved, the incredibly difficult, and incredibly frustrating search. The incredibly involved, the incredibly difficult, and incredibly frustrating search. Trying to pull together the history of a people.
Page 1, page 2, page 3, and still no signs of me. Yeah, so I looked into the table of the contents. They wrote a little thing about us in the projects. The only history we make is if we kill somebody, rape somebody, but other than that, we're nobody. Speaking like a brother living in the jungle. I know I was here first, but I remain humble.
Now it's time to rekindle the fire. A tribe of young brothers with the eye of the tiger.
Acknowledge your own. We have a home. Put on this earth to live and roam.
Christopher chose to explore.
Discovered America.
Yeah, sure. He thought the planet was square. Traveled many places, but we already had been there. We left tracks, backtrack back.
First civilization.
You know where that was found at. Looking for the true black days of glory, but you're reading history. That's his story.
The red's for the blood and the black's for the man.
Benny
The green is the color that stands for the land. The red's for the blood and the black's for the man. The green is the color that stands for the land. The red's for the blood and the black's for the man.
The original
the green
people.
is the color that stands
All the
for
riches
the
of the
land.
earth.
The red's for the blood
The
and
suffering.
the black's for the man.
The original
the green
people.
is the color that stands
All the
for
riches
the
of the earth. Africa. Talk about Mother Africa. Talking about Father Africa.
Yep.
Africa is the mother of civilization on the planet Earth. Africa, where science, cosmetic,
knowledge, wisdom, and understanding all comes from
right.
Africa.
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 My mother say Africa.
We say Africa.
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 Jungle brother say Africa.
We say Africa.
Africa. All the people say Africa.
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 Wow. So many things just like felt through my mind, body, and soul listening to this record. I'm glad you letting these records breathe too, brother. Thank you. First of all, I'm glad you pointed out the fact that Vinny Mojico was on the track too. Like that, I forgot that she goes that way back with the Native Tongue family. You know, before Saturdays and everything. Like she was rocking and killing it. I heard Africa Bambaataa narrating the song throughout the song, which reminded me of that. I totally forgot about that too. And I saw Len in the comments talking about it sounded like an earlier version of X-Clan before X-Clan, which it did.
Yes.
And yeah, that's important to highlight. Big ups to X-Clan, Brother Jay. One of the things I wanted to share real quick, my boy actually just today told me that in the context of this song, they're actually trying to, he either researched or heard on the news that they're trying to remove history in regards to slavery, because it's a thing where they're afraid that it's going to make white kids feel guilty for what took place. You heard about that, right?
Like the critical race theory thing.
Yeah. I was like, wow. I mean,
listen to this song.
I mean, as if they're not trying to, like, to the point of this song, hide enough of our history as is, and now they're trying to go even further. So it's just
they're continuing. At least they're consistent. You know,
go figure. Like,
yeah. This song is just crazy. And Lynn said, you know, it just feels regal. It feels, you know what I'm saying? And to answer Mikkel's question, she said, who was the third person on that album cover? So you have the two rappers, you have Africa, Baby Bam, and you have Mike G.
Right.
In the background, the dark-skinned brother, that's Sammy B. How am I getting his name wrong? Sammy G? Sammy? Yeah. So yeah, that's the DJ.
DJ, right? He was in Straight Out the Jungle video too, walking through the weeds in the jungle or whatever. Yeah, the whole
That's like shoving dirt under the rug. Yeah,
pretty much, brother. Yeah,
I mean that's what they've been doing. Like they've literally that rug. It's not even a rug no more. You can't. It's like a mountain with this piece of fabric on top of it. That's how much they've shoved. Sammy B.
Yes, thank you, Steve. Yeah, Sammy B.
Thank you. Sometimes, you know, I just All right, this next joint. Here we go. Ooh, boy, this album.
I know what you can do. Let us play some funk on you.
What is this? What genre is this? What is that in the beat? What?
All are present and accounted for. Take roll code, there's 100 or more. Brothers, sisters that I call my tribe, live in a high on a funky vibe. Step in stride and all things the same. Play differently but all the same game. Don't eat me cause I'm not that mean. Drink a lot of juice so my inside is clean. Do on to others like they do to us. Stay out the rip of and God we trust. Work by day, ritual by night. The vibe holds the tribe and it keeps it real tight. We give each other weight instead of saying hi. And that's the first feeling when you feel the tribe vibe. Try. The sunset, moon rock.
You are right, Steve. It is towel time.
Tribes got together, you heard the jingle, coming from all angles. I heard the bongos. Bongo beats from the jungle. A ritual. Fire in the middle. I chant a little riddle. Woo! I saw a man on the side taking pictures, but some of us never paid him no mind. Click, flash, boom, bash. Smashed up his camera, weak in his stamina. We didn't kill him, we painted him black. Put him down with the tribe, put him down with the pack. Now took his gun and took his fight. Changed the clothes and told her to sit still. We tried to run, but there was nowhere to hide. But caved in because it felt the trap vibe.
Oh boy. Lynn said, love how different each track is on this album. Yeah.
Exactly my point with this. Exactly my point. The diversity is just... Yo, do you remember an album prior to this that was as diverse, or, you know?
Nah.
So like just as creative?
No, this
I mean, you, like I said, you had dope classic albums, no doubt.
Yeah.
But this was just like different dimensions within one album, different chambers, if you will.
Yeah.
Different journeys, different vibes. It's Yeah,
I know.
Unbelievable.
Tribe vibes. And then you follow Tribe vibes with something like this. Uh-oh. Here it comes. TT. TT.
Uncle Sam, Mike G, Big the Band, Road Manager, yeah. This joint is slam. 5,000, boom and right. Yeah. Sound system, baby the art. Travel lightly, close pack neatly. Strap with the baby bam, beat seat, rolling early. Do the sound check. I wanna get on, but the crowd ain't around yet. I scream out jungle so you know that I'm here. Yeah. Give a shout out to Smokey the Bear. Yeah. It's almost time. It's almost time. Yeah, it's almost time to bring forth my rhyme. Yeah. Any minute now, any second now. Pay attention close. We're gonna show you how. Come on, everybody, let's gather around. Once again, we're gonna get on down. Give you something to go home and talk about. The odds were against us, but we stayed and fought it out. I heard you was long overdue. Yeah. Who's coming through? Y'all know who? Who? To toe, y'all, blow for blow, y'all. Mike G gonna show you what we know now. Indeed, the seed of peace is here to give you what you need. JB's in the lead. I took a plane cause it was just too far to swing. To bring my jungle thing. Pack my clothes, getting ready for a trip.
Sammy is cutting through a lot of this on the low in the background.
I wrote some rhymes with a positive message in case something happened, the crowd might take this. Very bad brother from another land, known to the world as the motherland. African can do and will achieve to teach the world in what he believes. Another brother may try to bring me down, but I let him know I don't clown around. If you play around, then you lay around. If you lay around, then you stay around. You see, you can't keep a brother from doing his due, so keep in mind, JB's coming through.
Down with the JB, Mike G, Sammy B, and Africa.
I think it's unanimous. I think it's unanimous. I think it's unanimous to your question from earlier. Which was my favorite track off this album?
No, I think it's unanimous. Which is our favorite track on this album.
I love this album, but this joint right here has to be my favorite, hands down. Because I think I told you before with the Tribe album, when you threw on Mr. Muhammad, you could not keep me like standing still at all. Like I was just off the wall. Like but prior to that, it was this. It was this one. Between what I tell you before, pianos, Jungle Brothers, the JBs,
the little kid in here, and then everything.
It's just too much going on.
Too much.
I can't.
You're right.
Too
And
much.
The constant cutting.
This is what I'm saying. This
Yeah.
too much. The JBs,
Yeah.
Jungle Brothers, Jungle. Oh no.
Yeah. And to answer the question from Lynn and from Mikkel, Jungle Brothers produced their own music, at least early on for the first 2 albums. Okay. Which on the low, plenty of groups did back then. They kind of produced their own music because it was like, what's a producer? We just kind of just loop this stuff up so that we can rap. And here we are, you know.
But see, the dope thing about that time was that we had vinyls, we had cassettes where we could just open read the inserts, see who was engineering, see who was producing, see the vocal arrangements, everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what we were privy to during our time. Not to sound like the old heads or whatever you want to call it, but hey,
it's what it is.
It is what it is. And I wouldn't rewind. I mean, I would rewind time and not erase time because that was my time and I'm proud of it. Like,
yeah,
classics like
Me
this.
too. Me too.
Classics.
Woo. So, okay, before we end this album, I'm gonna just end with one more joint real quick. Change the tempo. This right here is one of the most beautiful songs you will ever hear. Peace, brother Steve. Both Steves in the hit house.
Loving it.
This right here is one of the most beautiful songs you will ever hear dedicated to Black women. I'm sure there are others, but yes, and that's why I missed the CD/cassette linear notes without question. Liner notes, yeah, without question. This right here. The emotion from this.
I want to create a beautiful world for you, Black.
I'm sorry. Before I go here, I just want to tell something real quick about this song. I'm sorry, Vic.
I'm in the zone. Go ahead. You're good. You're good. I'm just in the zone. Go ahead.
That's all good. I had a chemistry class, and the teacher, what he used to do with us, he was like, well, if you all get certain if most of the class gets above a B or above, then there will be a day where you can play the music that you want.
I had days like that too. That's dope.
And whoever got the top grade was the one who was going to play the music.
All right.
So of course I bust my ass to get that top grade because I had to play the music. So when I played the music, this was out. And I played Black Woman. And the room was just like
yeah.
You know, even especially the sister in there, and this teacher, this old white Greek dude or whatever he was, Mr. Franchek.
He said whatever he was.
It was something. He wasn't black.
Okay.
He was in awe. In that moment, he understood that hip hop was more than what the media painted it as. You know, as this thing that the thugs do.
Right.
He was just sitting there like, wow. This song.
See, but at that time, not to go into a rant, but at that time, the thug thing wasn't even as major as it is now or became.
No, it wasn't. But to the media, remember, the media used to talk about breakdancing like it's something you shouldn't do because you harm your children. So it made our parents' generation look at hip hop like it was this dangerous thing.
Absolutely.
It was street music.
Damn,
you know what I'm
that
saying?
sounds like a dope moment in time to just like, I'm envisioning without even being there, like the teachers, like, you know, because my pops would get like that with certain albums, like Edutainment or something from Heavy D. He'd be like, Public Enemy. This goes on.
And we, and a person like myself and like you, we knew from back then what to play.
Right.
When I think about it, I've always been doing this, what I'm doing right now, in one way or another.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I've always been sharing the hip hop. And sharing the hip hop in moments where it meant something. Like in that moment, I could have put on some NWA and it would have just made him feel like, yeah, this is exactly what I expected.
Yeah,
but
real talk.
Black Woman and was like,
yeah.
So now we're gonna go to that song.
Beautiful.
Black woman. I want to create a beautiful world for you, black woman. A world of beauty for beautiful you.
Je suis à vous.
A world of beauty for beautiful you.
Je suis à vous.
Black woman, mother of my earth, black woman, you gave me birth. You can truly see what's in me. You can help me be the best that I can be. You feed my fire when I'm on the wire, keeping me calm when it's getting higher. Sweet like sugar and hot like wine, always keeping you on my mind. Giving my life a new light to reach for, giving me so much. How could I ask for more? Keeping us tight when we're getting loose. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Black woman.
A world of beauty for beautiful you. Black. A world where black women can bathe, naked and unashamed, naked and unashamed, naked and unashamed, naked and unashamed. They are really beautiful.
You started off just a little girl, given the power to change the world. And though some of your ways to man are odd, you are the proof that there is a God. Black woman, you are the mother of all. Black woman, you stand so firm and tall. And as you aged, mind, body, and soul, you became more beautiful. You are the future, you are the wisdom that the evil forces tried to hide. But no longer will you be hidden. In my jungle, you always will exist. Your wish is my command. Your command is my wish. And the job of a man is to respect and protect. Be fruitful and multiply.
Black woman.
Honor and love and honor.
Your mama.
Until the day she dies. Black woman.
Naked and unashamed and gentle free. A world where poetry is you, black woman.
I'm feeling earlier vibes, pre Brown Skin Lady from Black Star and Knowledge of Self. I'm getting all of those sandwiched into that you know what I mean? Like just beautiful vibes.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how vintage this album is, this song is, and how timeless it just sounds timeless. It doesn't sound dated. Like I could sit this record next to the records I just mentioned perfectly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Crazy.
Yeah. I got to read some of these comments. We got to read some of these back. Hold on. Steve said, I want to create a beautiful world for you, black woman. He was quoting from the song. And he said, as girl dad, I played this track on a family car trip and they got my love of hip hop music.
Crazy.
Lynn said, speaking of hip hop, salute to Jay-Z and LL for making the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Word. Big up on that.
Flowers long overdue.
Long overdue. Mad said Karen Wheeler, Soul to Soul, English singing legend.
Listen, man. Mad Nine, yo, I don't know how, where, and when, or what platform, whether it's this, Victory is Ours, whichever, we have to connect, brother, because your knowledge of music, not even just hip hop, but music in general, is phenomenal to me.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
No doubt.
And Karen Wheeler is one of the dopest. The fact that he's just mentioning names like like it's nothing, like Music Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Like our boy SK, Silent Night.
Yes.
It's crazy. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you. Your music knowledge is incredible to me. Thank you. Thank you for
salute to Steve for sharing a song like this and hip hop period with the youth. You know, because I feel like somewhere along the line there was a disconnect between the 90s and the 2000s where some of those people that were raising the kids that are now rapping, they weren't passed down the knowledge and just the information of the hip hop before them, like us and the generation before. We always had angst against, of course, the old school because we was new and we was young and we were rebellious, you know.
Right.
But we always still respected and knew about what came before us.
Absolutely.
That stopped somewhere along the line.
And I don't know when. That's always been my problem. It's never the evolution or things changing, but we always wanted progression. Like when it was Run DMC, not to go into a tangent, but when it was Run DMC, we were happy to welcome in the Rakims, the Kanes, the Slick Ricks, you know what I mean? Like, and the Nas's, the J's, the Biggies, 90s. Like we always wanted it to grow and evolve and change. We just wanted to respect the care for the creativity, for the craft, the culture to continue. That's all we wanted. That's it.
And those rappers that you named, those legends, they're legendary partially because they were students of the game that existed before them.
That's it.
So when they came in, there was a certain level of respect that was automatically given to it when they put that pen to paper.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so we've completed the Jungle Brothers Done by Forces of Nature album, at least what we're going to play off that album.
Great song selections, brother. Thank you. Amazing,
profound album. We're going to move now to Leaders of the New. Lynn said somewhere along the line, hip hop music kind of turned against our beautiful women as well. Without question. I mean, unfortunately that turn seemed like it happened very early on the low. But yeah, kids do what they want, but still need a little guidance, especially nowadays, which to them isn't
cool. Yep.
Lil, notice he did Lil. Lil. On the comments, there was a bunch of stuff about Lil.
This brother is crazy. I'm telling you, like, yo, he is on point with it, man.
But yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start with Leaders of the New School, Future Without a Past. Anything you want to say about this album before we get going?
Just to reiterate my post before the show started, man, these are some of my favorite hip-hop albums. These were, with the exception of the Jungle Brothers, it being their second album, these were the first and one of the most impactful albums. This is the first album and the first time we saw Busta Rhymes hit the scene.
Yes.
And this was, again, unlike anything we'd ever seen. We've never seen a Busta Rhymes. We never saw really Charlie Brown at that. Like all these brothers were unique within the same crew. Dinko D did not sound like Bus, Charlie Brown. You know, like,
yeah,
I loved it. The visuals, again, the case of the PTA.
All of it. And
Feminine Fat.
Yeah, and let me add to that by saying, so for those that don't know, Leaders of the New School was a group that was coached by Chuck D and Hank Shockley early on. They had a camp going on with a bunch of different groups that were like in training.
Right.
And they had names on a board. One of those names was Young Black Teenagers. Okay, Leaders of the New School, and there was a few other names, and Chuck and them were trying to choose who got what name. Okay, and eventually they gave Leaders of the New School the name Leaders of the New School, and Chuck D also gave Busta his name, Busta Rhymes, because he was like, yo, when you rhyme, you're like busting through the line of scrimmage. Like one of my favorite running backs from back in the day, his name was Buster Rhymes. And of course, because it's like he's kicking rhymes, they just said, okay, we'll make it Busta. Because you know that ER, you know how black folk feel about that hard ER. It's problematic. You got to put an A on that. You might get your butt kicked. Okay, so anyway,
the ill story though, man.
But yes, so that's how they started, and this is where the group started. And they have, to me, they capture that Furious 5, the Treacherous 3 vibe, that group thing where it's call and response. They're saying their rhymes and then they're shouting out other parts with each other.
Big ups, exactly, brother Steve. Yeah, yo, I'm telling you,
I try.
I'm telling you, there's very few people that school me to not only hip hop, but to this brother. His range of music knowledge is like my man Mad Non in the comments is crazy. Yeah. Big ups to you, brother John. Salute.
Why, thank you, kind sir. Yeah. So okay, we're gonna get started. Leaders of the New School. Here we go.
One last thing before you start, if I could say, one of the things that I used to appreciate during that time, and especially with this album, Tribe did it too, was that they all had, whoever was in the group had their individual tracks on the album. They would come collectively and individually. And I love that.
Yeah.
That's another element that I feel is missing with some albums that come out today.
Indeed. Indeed. Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. And also they had this album had an innocence to it because most of it was like about them being in school. First single, Case of the PTA. The album followed that theme all the way through, even talking about being bullied in school, which Show Me a Hero and all of that stuff. So
great point.
This, for me, being in school myself, I related to this album even more.
Same here.
Okay, here we go.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Yo, I can't understand why the parents and the teachers and everybody trying to reach to the kids, the young generation. Yo, what's the deal, bro? Charlie Brown, what's the deal, Charlie?
I don't know what the deal is. You have to ask my partner, Dingo D.
Yo, tell us, D. Tell us, D. Confusion, G. What's up? Hey, oh man, it's just another case of that OPTA. Oh man.
In school, I wrote notes to quote some Shakespeare and other types of rhymes to show you that I care for things like Together Forever. Till you're my only one. It was special. I could say it was a loving one. You would say someone's knocking at my window.
Knock, knock.
Someone's ringing my bell.
Ding dong.
It's about 2 in the morning.
Hey, yo, G, what the hell's going on? It's just another case of that OPTA.
But nevertheless, it goes to show my potential. And even though I love was three-dimensional, 1, me, 2, you, 3, your pops. Now what am I to do? I had to transform into an educated lad, going around doing chores for your dad, playing a duck, wearing sweaters and shoes, chilling with pop, just listen to the blues, and talking to your mom about her love for a daughter, suggesting to me that I just order watch myself
inch by inch,
watch myself
and use some sense.
So I did, and didn't do a damn thing, but they took a blame for how I sing.
It's just another case of that OPTA. Bust the rhymes, the mighty infamous, always misbehaving and mischievous, causing aggravation. I'll never pause, pushing out spitballs to plastic straws in class. Until I got caught at last, falling in up the courtyard grass. Hey, teacher, go to the flex. What's the rhymes on the credit card blast? Hey yo, in class, kick the this girl Cheryl. What? The teacher tried to tell me you're a pharaoh. No, I'm not with attention, no, I'm known with suspicion. Or child's wicked and well, they carry ill styles. Teacher just the knowledge to go talk to my mommy. Know when she gets home, she's gonna wear the body. I hate this relationship, the mom and teacher. Richard reaches home and yo, she knows how to reach ya. Okay, up to date, I am the new school prey. Between my mama, teacher, and my dad. And yo, it's just another case of that OPTA.
Yo. I love how Dinko's verses, he was talking as the young dude who was, he said, we're playing the duck, wearing sweaters and shoes, chilling with pops, just listening to the blues. We've all been that young man who had to sit in front of that girl we like's father and just be like, yes, sir. Yeah. We were just gonna go play freeze tag, knowing good and damn gone well we was gonna play. We wanted to play more than freeze tag, unless that freezing was lip to lip. Then yeah,
I know that's right.
That's all we was doing then was necking, as they used to call it.
Yo, I was just thinking of Charlie B's ad lib.
I'm gonna tell you, you're not gonna hear much of those in here because you see that I was about to come up, and I said, "Pause."
Yeah.
Pause. Because I was never a fan of that. I was a fan of him, but I was not really a fan of. I was like, why does he keep squealing like this?
I'm not gonna front. It was entertaining to me.
I wasn't really. Just rhyme.
Oh man,
who's pinching this dude constantly? Where he's like, you bit me my ribs, my side, homie.
Oh man,
like, somebody need to get him some booty ASAP. Straighten that out. I'll be
crazy. What's up in the comments?
As
Indeed,
long as
man, as long as we as passionate about it, the music cannot be too far lost as it appears to be now. Great point.
You're right, dude. Okay, we're gonna just keep going. We got to keep going. So this right here, I don't know if a lot of y'all know about this one. I don't really remember this one that much, to be honest, because I was so caught on the original song. But here's the Case of the PTA remix.
Let me tell you about the summer. No, PTA says you stay. Playground. Hey, break up to wake up your sweating education. I guess that's the fine, pay attention, no vacation. Disrupt, corrupt, correct all confusion. Communication gaps with the parents and children. Together, let's all learn what we should. Not on wood. With the good sense of balance on the skeletal way. The word from the bird is they say. It's just another case of battle PTA. But that's the same song sung with my girl in a pop. The blues wasn't from school, pops call it cops. The fashion, I'm asking, I get what I got. I guess that's what you get when you're being a no-not. So know how it is and what they're gonna say. Simply. But it's just another case of battle PTA. I get booed, then I come rebellious. Step back before the vibes get nervous. Wake up, everyone listen up, listen up. It's time to get up. So I stay on the topic as I come back strong. Doing my best in school all along. See the crew deep in the hall yelling out. So I just pack my bag. Time to go. Oh, watch out, bust around. Here comes your mom and in her palm she got the bomb. I can't understand why I get. You better sit, mommy. It's a crime that you don't understand me. It's a damn shame word. I riff with a fucking rip like a rip rap. The swing from my mom's hair gave a jab. Ooh, but she makes now. I can say I love her. Ooh, another swing. Oh, time to run for cover. All of this stems from the fact that my mom's does not understand what kind of man I am. He's a without a bag. Or some kind that gets in my back, but I got my own frame of mind. Mr. Savastano, say what you wanna say. It doesn't matter anyway. It's gonna always turn out to be just another case of battle PTA.
Woo! Wow, brother, where did you dig that joint up from?
I mean, this is what's so ironic. It's just the remix, but we were so stuck on the original. I never listened to that remix before. I never heard it before until now.
But I don't feel like so was Scenario, but I felt like that was more accessible than this was. Granted, it was a bigger hit, but
right. By then, and I feel like I had this single like on record. I had the Case of the PTA single because the flip side of it was Teachers Don't Teach Us Nonsense.
Yes. Okay.
But it's like I don't remember this at all. So to answer Lynn's question, the Stimulated Dummies did this remix, but most of the tracks on this album, a lot of it was done by leaders, and especially Busta on the low.
That's right. I remember him talking about that. That's true. Yeah.
And if you listen to the music, there is a very big connection between this sound and the Bomb Squad sound, as far as all the layers of different samples that just come out of nowhere, but all fit together in this one cohesive musical mesh, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that was bananas. That joint, wow. Oh, yeah. I was very impressed.
Marauders, also another one that produces, and he probably produced this maybe. I know Stimulated Dummies did the remix, well, one of the remixes for International Zone Coaster. That's what I'm thinking. One of the remixes, because it had more than one. Okay. All right, we're going to keep going into this album. Here we go. So that was the remix for Case of the PTA. Here we go. Here's another song. Too Much on My Mind.
Too much on my mind, just too much on my mind. Oh. Too much on my mind, just too much on my mind. Too much on my mind, just too much on my mind. Come on. Too much on my mind, just too much on my mind.
My mind, ready to go, it's time. I gotta know where I'm going in LISB. A constant headache for Charlie B, but I take an aspirin and sleep for a bit. Then I dream about making more hits. Wake up, buddy. The rent is due and I don't got the money. The landlord says get out. Sorry to to hear that? No doubt. I work for a jerk who can't understand. Pride and soul, cause I'm a man. Minimum wage in the age of the future. Move too slow, damn it, might shoot ya. Fools make fools out of me and you. I sit, relax, and I just continue to think that there is just too much on my mind.
Too much on my mind, just too much on my mind. Too much on my mind, just too much on my mind.
Got up this morning,
too much.
Still sleepy and yawning,
too much.
My stomach is growling,
too much.
The bus is crowding,
too much.
I tell my boss I'm getting paid,
too less.
So I quit, and sit with my last check. I go to the mall and can't get fresh
for $99.95.
I don't wanna hear it, there's too much on my mind. And I hear it, calling for the DINCO. Here comes my girl, wait, I gotta go. Nah, I'm not running, I'll just say no. And go and tell my homeboy Jarrell. He can't spell, but he knows really.
He can't spell, but he knows really. Too much on my mind, just too much on my mind. Too much on my mind, just too much on my mind. Too much on my mind, just too much on my mind. Come on, baby. Too much on my mind, just too much on my mind. The mind is more delicate, more action than a predicate. You think of things you never thought of, but then settle it.
Do that,
go ahead.
Go there, it's too much on my mind.
The mind is more delicate, more action than a predicate. You think of things you never thought of, but then settle it.
No money,
no job, no home, no life. It's too much on my mind.
Too much on my mind, just too much on my mind. Too much on my mind, just too much on my mind.
Yo.
Yeah, I got to agree with Mikkel. That could have been a JB's joint. Could have been a JB's joint.
He peeped that. Lid said $99.95. Not even a Benjamin, right? That was his last check he was cashing too. That's why he was like, "Screw this." Yeah,
dude.
That right now still,
it
still rocks. But the topic,
still relevant.
It's still very relevant.
Oof. I would ask you: do you have any favorites off this album?
Okay.
And do you feel two questions? Do you feel like it was appreciated as much as we appreciate it even then? Did you think
this album? Yes, I do think, at least from what I saw. And to answer about what was one of my favorites on this album,
or no, did you have a favorite?
See, I can't. These albums, I can't. You're asking impossible questions. You're like asking, do I think I can beat the Hulk? Like, yeah, I could say yes, but I'm lying. But this is one of my favorites.
Yo, this ain't my
I know it's one of yours.
This ain't your people. Yo.
Uh-oh, it's TT. It's Towel time.
Yo, you want a quarter? Yo,
Sound of the Zekas. This is Leaders of the New Squad and their crew just going in. And Busta produced this. Listen to all the beat changes.
What's to the manila on your paper? It's the breadle with a crackerjack caper. Now who said that I was off on my own? I did a flip on flip to a brontosaurus bone. Here goes the edible eats, cause I eat sweets, not steaks or meats. I got styles. Get it, honey child, in it to win it. 1 miles and miles through the speaker. Silver paprika, it's the sounds of the Zekas.
Oh, Golly G, Bumblebee. Bring around the rosy, a pocket full of hosey, the hip hop. Scooby-Doo, watch the jaws drop. Let the sunset stop. Was my friend to the end. Chucky wasn't lucky, so here's your end, friend. I test the chef, ate broccoli and rice. The newest to the new, not the old spice. Mind over matter. It's got a 2-scoop loop. Betty Crocker made the batter. Poindexter flex the track by Buster with a little bit of soul from the Crackerjack store. Still at will. Fulfilled of the skill for the Jill by the back. Misfire the mojo, swing low string. Sing along as I bring along with a song. Sedated by the mate, man, he might know. Yo, gotta go, gotta go. So, signing off, but the end ain't yet. Stick around, cause the Zika got the sound.
Creepers, it's the sound of the Zekas. Creepers, it's the sound of the Zekas.
Now we'll let us hear like a track. Leaders of the new school, what a first back. Along with this groovy track. Welcome to the sound of the Zekas, cause now you're trapped. Taste this lyrical bliss to the brain. Shut now, here, these no shame in my game. Let me be a remedy man. I can hear your ears with the words that I share. So, taste this feel.
Early Rumpelstiltskins on this one.
That you have to obey. Shine now and tropical later on here on the scene. Sounds of the Zika is not easy. Only out there on the update. I'm simply teaching and representing AAA. Feel the negative and the positive. Pass me why, that's my prerogative. I just ghetto, look ghetto, came from the ghetto. But now I got a level with the flow. I'm riding from the bottom, going straight to the top. When I'm old and gray, big on the hip hop pot. I'm crossing the line, heading for the border. Feeling quite thirsty, need a cup of water. Taller than gremlins, the lakes are tremblings. Now these other years, all the Rumpelstiltskins. Taking out witches and don't make ditches. If you brother this, you'll just get stitches. Down with the Rumple Till, and I love the hit skins. Should have begin trends set by friends. Geronimo, not an animal, a dance cannibal. On the dance floor, I'm willing and able to freak. And Zeke, and I'm out. Now this is called a weed from the virgin, but there is one thing they want to know, understand. When they come in and they dance me and the spell on pattern. They want to move no ways and moving no pattern. They in the place with L-O-N-S. Them are my youth, you know them not chest. North, east, south and west. Everybody move and progress. In the 90s with aye.
Big bad bump, big bad bump. Yeah, all the singers in the dance. Big bad bump, big bad bump. Turn around, make the dance all round.
There's only one Johnny Brown. Figure of the speaker much getting louder. Lunchtime roll out with the chimes. Like a jack, breaking your back. Hey, I like a track, now we'll latest react. Some of the folk, revelation, nevertheless, kick, stick, jump, and pump, press. Now, no biz, like Showbiz Brown. Ladies, grab a lot, break the ground, got speakers. Seekers. L-O-O-N-S. Seeking with yes. Ladies have us craze, minds combined, elevating the maze of incredible character. Scripture of a picture, Mr. D-I-N-C-O. Be a power, speaking with evidence. Ever, whether or not, it's irrelevant. So I zone and zone.
They still going.
It sounds so ill to be witnessed. See like Zach, the Lego maniac. You ask what's that? I say bring it back.
I got short dreadlocks and bright red sneakers. Illin on this track, cross out of the speakers. Before I prolong, let's just go on to another measure. I'm listening to pleasure. See, I don't cry cause I don't be faking. Don't eat bacon, cause that's forsaken. My heritage is straight up Jamaican. No need to play hot, cause I can't be frozen. Just take this as a member's token. How many pennies do you need to make sense? How do you know when you have a sixth sense? BBB is the sound of my people.
Bring it home, Buster.
This sound of the sneaker.
I love the feminine frets when they go to the itty bitty butts then show. Baby doll, showing you what the bars will never fall. Everybody in the house, if you see, get make some noise. Do whatever we can hear. Bring back that sound from the woman. That beautiful sound, I'm loving. You from the moon, right through the show, bitch. Chemistry work in the lab of noises. So back off your rats and your creatures. React, sit back and listen to the sound of the speaker. Done.
TT, it's towel time.
Woo. Dude.
Yeah.
This is one of the songs that created the towel and the walk off. I'm dead up, straight up, like no jokes, no capping, yo.
Yeah.
I don't even know what part of the track that I enjoyed most with the beat switches. I really don't. I couldn't choose one.
Yeah.
There's too much going on this track. The baby, the patois, and the even your boy Charlie B got a few. You must have forgot what he.
No, I know I didn't forget until you forget 3. I was counting. I was like, 1, 2. Oh God, is there a third? Yep, there it is. 3. But you know, he went through his verse and did his thing, so I had no problem with it. But
not one whack verse on that joint. To me, not one. Was it just me or Dinko D? This is obviously I knew Dinko D before Black Thought, but Dinko D reminds me so much of Black Thought. Just the tone, his tone.
I could see that in a way.
The old Black Thought, you know what I mean? Like the old Tariq. I feel that.
No. I could definitely see that. I totally get where you're going at with that. All right, we're gonna keep going just to save on time. This just keeps getting. This is one of the favorites for for me as well.
Remember the days when I was walking and talking, doing what I gotta do, doing what we wanna do. Offered to my walkathon missions. Why? Cause the brothers that I knew with the rides drove by. On the nights and the days looking down the road, seeing beautiful girls with the carloads. Yeah, they are screaming, wish I had a little ride of my own. But since I don't, that is my sob story. My missions will continue as I keep on stalking. The stamina was dying from the constant walking. Right before the moment I began to call to my man Brittle, who had a sunroof and all. I thought he would have noticed my dying. When I yelled his name in your beat, it kept jiving. Now in my heart, it grew a big hole, cause my little toe started rubbing on my insole. It was a fidgety burn, and then I said, wait, I got pride. It's time to get my own ride. I came up with the scheme and got paid. I had no other choice but go down the trade. When I got my chance, though, I got kinda stingy up, cause I got my cherry pass fired up. Now I'm feeling good, cause I'm off my feet. Many little swallow dogs running up on the street. And I'm saying, my name is Sharina. My name is Buster. My name is Tanya. My name is Buster. My name is Diana. My name is Buster. And what do you take me for? The little local pushover? No shame in my game, cause that's how I got this. And when I return the favor, everybody gets pissed. And now I am the man, feeling all the glory. And when your ride's down and gone, just remember that I know you and you know me. I know you and you know me. I know you and you know me. It's the sob story, the sob story. I know you and you know me. I know you and you know me. I know you and you know me. It's the sob story, the sob story.
Yo.
That was an excellent point that Mikkel brought up, because the whole story with Bus and Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See, and how Diddy wanted him to display that, more mellow style. He was doing that even from Leaders.
Yeah.
He had the versatility even then.
Yeah, he didn't do it as much then, but
not as much, definitely not.
Yeah. And for those that didn't catch it, in Busta's verse, there is something that DJ Premier sampled for a Gangstar song.
Yes.
No shame in my game, because that's how I got dissed. No shame in my game. That's literally the name of the song for the Gangstar. I love that beat and song so much.
Absolutely. Same here.
Just saying. Okay, so we're going to keep moving. Ooh.
Big,
large. Yeah, big,
large. Large.
Nasty large.
Big, large.
Robust large.
Big, large.
Cellulite large.
Big,
I
large.
see nice large. Yeah, all that large.
He's celebrating the girls with weight. He's celebrating the weight. Celebrate it.
That old fat, nice hip. It's like a feminine fat. Feminine fat. I like the girls that's feminine fat. Feminine fat. Feminine fat. I really love a woman that's feminine fat. Indeed, I like the girls with the knowledge for crack. She signs for her like that old fat contract. From the waist down, she should never lack. The faith of her weight with a level of back. They have many fats all over the world. There's only one fat that I like in a girl. Strong fat. Oh yeah, that's it. Not the dilly fat, but the fat that's fit. Woo! Many girls try to flex. All the fat gripped in a tight spandex. Make small fat look real fat. I'd rather deal with fat that is actual fat. Don't mean to diss, though it really may hurt. I'd rather see the fat do a 3/4 skirt. Be careful, friend, or you'll be thrown off track. Because I can't take the whack around fat. Feminine fat, feminine fat. I like the girl that's feminine fat. Feminine fat, feminine fat. I really love a woman that's feminine fat. I like the fat that's miraculous. Delicious and voluptuous. I'm tender fat, but not the fat too sore. Cause the whack nasty yak fat turns me off. No need to go with a fight or fuss. I look at my fat split with two big fat balls. I'm booming on woman, but I'd like to know what's the fat product that will make the fat grow? Is it the food or is it natural weight? Regardless, baby, cause the fat looks great. You know the kind of fat that I think is worthless. The fat in the public exposing on purpose. Forget that, dummy. This is lovely. That is what makes my nature rise above me. Many girls get fat in a snap. Buster gotta sit on a fat girl's lap. Buster man, shut up! Now let's do wisdom. Lips is first priority of the fat girl symptom. Damn, I can't take the fat is funky. Believe me, I'll adore a cheek that is chunky. Jennifer Rex, the fat girl Buster. Hey, yo, Buster Rhymes is the man that does her. I like the girls that is feminine fat. Feminine fat, yeah, feminine fat.
That's right, the fat that is right and exact.
Right and exact,
Yeah.
right and exact.
Left the fat snappy, no shape and flat.
Shape and flat, shape and flat.
And ain't not the gang with the fat in her back.
Fat in her back, fat in her back.
We go feminine fat, feminine fat. I like the girl that is feminine fat. Feminine fat, yeah, feminine fat. I really love a woman that is feminine fat.
Big, large,
Woo.
big, large, big,
What is
large, big, large, big, large, big, large, big, large, big, large.
Right. Wow.
These were the types of songs you could enjoy up until the very last second. From the record scratch into the whatever's playing.
Yeah. And they were
Crazy.
putting it all into it till the very end, like that record thing happening at the end. You wouldn't do that if you didn't think nobody was listening by that point. You would just, let's fade this song out and we're done.
Yep.
You always put in that extra. And to me, when you put that extra in your song, even if the masses don't get it or recognize it, they sense it in the song. Sometimes there's things you sense in a song that you can't totally put your finger on why you feel that way or why it makes you feel that good or why this vibe is there. And it's sometimes it's these small things they do in songs that just contribute to the overall vibe. It's not something that's tangible that you can touch, but you damn sure feel it, you know?
Agreed. Well said. And I have to reiterate the fact that we just played Jungle Brothers and most of the album. We're playing Leaders. And none of these songs, maybe one that Mikkel pointed out that could have been a JB's joint. But with the exception of that, everything is sounding very diverse, very different, and classic, timeless.
Yeah.
These are records that came out in the 80s. And this was the early 90s.
These all came out around the same year, 90 and 91.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Insane, dude. I love how Leaders of the New School, whenever they do a hook, how they sang it in unison. It was like one voice. It was like the hook was sang by Leaders of the New School and not just one person.
And those were the days where brothers were actually in the studio together. Like joints weren't being emailed back and forth, which nothing wrong with that convenience. Nothing wrong with that convenience, but just the camaraderie and the energy that was inside the studio. Like imagine, I love releases from albums, projects that have the behind the scenes video, like studio footage. Love that. Love it.
Too. Oh. All right, here we go.
Oh my gosh, it's a sunny day and the sky is bright. Chickens in the midst, everything is right. We need to make a remix. Today is the day the whole school plays hooky. Why? Cause I call Big Willie and Wow. Cut my little rhino, bring the sound. Before I do that, I play myself like a jerk. Make sure Mama Jama took the body to work. Okay, she is gone, so I jet to the phone. Let the whole world know the body's home. This was the rhymes and I'm feeling irie. Come on over, cause I'm having a party. Milo did the right thing and broke the rhyme. The sound's too rich, now the party's live. Chickens in the back, everything is sweet. As a zone did my best, all I had to say was that big. That big. Just keep the same old big. Check it out, y'all. Come on. Just keep the same old big.
On the fourth day of school, Cookie wasn't here. Today's the first day of a brand new year. His girls is rubbing, butts around the room. Fellas feeling good, Cookie Gates is boom. Zoom to the doom of a sugar plum tune. Me, Brown, and Buster gonna rock the mic soon. With a here we go in June. Power cat with the snap up in the rules. No one misses out, this is all street news. You choose, don't lose abuse. Prices move in like cruise and brews. Stacked on a 4-pack sack of freaks. I guess I play hooky for a couple of weeks.
6 a.m. when I hear my alarm. Rush through the phone and go Vietnam. He sleep, so I leave a message at the tone. You know time is of essence. Quickly I jump straight into the shower. The baby powder, cause I can't smell sour. Get dressed, put on my night pants. Throw my hands, go upstairs. Walk outside to the fruit stand. Andre Kenny, the 40s in band. Power Geronimo is in the distance. The Vips are coming. Hit up the front and I'm straight. 7:45 and my day looks great. Walk to the school with about 40 feet. That means the squad is 20 deep. I zone.
Yo. Oh my. Oh my God. Oh my God. The original was dope. That was a remix. And then there was also another remix.
Another one. Yep.
You know, so like, yeah, this was the time where the remixes were starting to come into play. You know, in particular, those remixes eventually that were the horn remixes with horn
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
International Zone Coast. Okay, we're gonna keep going because we still gotta somehow try to get to at least some of Black Sheep. Okay, so I'm gonna skip this one, but I tell you what, here is an unreleased Leaders of the New School song that was recorded during the time of this album, and it's called Emotional. Oh boy.
Everything remains real as long as you know the emotional, the emotional. Everything remains real as long as you know the emotional, the emotional.
And it's funny when emotions run wild at times that can become meaningful, wonderful, beautiful, wonderful. Horrible, believe me, they can become terrible. Instead, you break up on the good side of the bed, walk into a wonderful day. Ooh, look at that cutie. She is absolutely your beauty. Take off the butterfly leather, the rock will make you feel better. Hey, 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 hey. Envision the division of the standpoint, cerebral, emotional exorcism, the direction of the exercise means I apply the applicant, subject to prefix, shift and lift. Spinal tidal, final, I don't feel. Balance the signature, compose the overture. Value back like a pack for a port. 21, legal to legislate. Courts caught the fever and now it's a phenomenon.
Yes. Love on the rock. I love New York, emotions on top. Make my heart kick hard, the blood hit sting. The quarter remains like Tarver rap sticks. Moldingly, holding me, leaving me in shock. Mentally and mentally, it feels like rock. Pick the lock, rock need for my tears feel like theirs. Years show slop, saturated, infatuated. Stop me not. Emotion feels rough and simply cuffed. Rush, mending up thoughts and stuff. Mine's so mine's punch.
Issue, dissue, never I continue. Kinetic, pathetic, alternate attitude. Attitude is one on the strength of the strong. I want to style, so I move and keep it on. Skin is coarse in the land of sand. Smooth to the point, best emotional stand. Expression, agile, origin the vocal. Beyond your local, and your vocal is fictional. Contradictional. Yes, she
they're killing it.
Following the dance, bust the rhyme. Yeah, as I keep on barking, screaming all over me, spinning in the highest genetic, energetic, never cosmetic. So I let it fly another head and kill it. Then you ask, oh really, will it? Are you gonna fulfill it? The notion, potion, brings off the bad emotion in the sense of emotion. Oh gosh, man. Oh man, eager, super sensational. Hanging from the point of my emotional.
Slit tits, bigger bits, spit, cool jab,
move jab.
Give it to the living, get my point across. I'm a crazy horse, crazy force, emotional stand yours. Dishes full of witches making the man the boss. So pick the figure, I look to think. Close your eyes, the prize is time to speak.
And keep it on and keep it on and keep it on and keep
Here come that drop.
Everything remains real as long as you know the emotional, the emotional. Everything remains real as long as you know the emotional, the emotional.
Oh my!
The leaders of the speakers and my peoples of the air. On 10 to the head when I walk through New York. Give me the musical, hear the play right all night. Making waves on the beach, hold tight, so right.
Yeah, this is crazy. I'm feeling kinda good. You can really do this just like a wood.
Jesus!
Another style made easy for the understanding of a child. You thought it was hard, get out of my backyard. Negative attention made you sucker get beat down to the ground. Fucked up, peaceful, living in the dark. Trying to liberate for my emotional stand.
Well, the powers in the hour fast, motionless, notionless. I reopen this, now I'm hoping this cook easy as my ABC. Please pour butter on my pancake, please. For the emotional standpoint, please, not sociable. So I put my eyeglass real close to you.
So you can look, motherfucker, you can see and you can look clearly at.
Keep it on and keep it on.
Whoa!
And keep it on and keep
Bring
it
it
on.
back.
And everything remains real as long as you know the emotional, the emotional. Everything remains real as long as you know the emotional, the emotional.
Whoa. So that's one of the best songs that's not on the album. Jesus, fix it. Jesus, can you fix this, please? When I go download this album next time, can this be on there? Jesus, please fix it. At least for Vic. Fix it for him, please.
Dude. What just happened?
Something
what
emotional.
Was that?
It's called emotional.
Where did that come from?
Leaders of the new school, apparently.
Dude.
It didn't make the album.
Why not?
I don't know. I emailed Busta about it last night. I haven't heard anything yet.
I'll get on that tonight.
I'll
follow up because I don't understand what type of insanity took place with the final packaging of that album without that being on the track list. I can't understand it. Yo, each one of them just blacked out.
Yeah.
The production.
Do we know how many mics this album got? Because if it got like 4.5 or 4, this song being on the album would have put it over the top for 5.
Yo,
being on the album.
I'm blown away.
They blacked out. The beat was insane. And then especially when the hook came in, it was just crazy.
Crazy, yo.
Crazy.
Blast from the past, everlast. Yeah.
It was crazy.
Woo. I'm just that's almost the equivalent of the Roots that night.
Oh,
with that, it's creeping up that ladder real quick, dude.
Okay, so then let me get the Black Sheep. Jesus Christmas. Dude, yeah, that
wow,
emotional. Wow. Yeah, Leaders. Okay. It's almost like, how do you move on after that? Jesus.
No, but you finale'd right with that one. That was the way to end the Leaders for the night. That was the way to do it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It wasn't the end. Like, I had another rarely heard song, but it's like, why play that now at this point?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on to Black Sheep because that was killer. Okay. We're gonna start here with Black Sheep. Goodness gracious, that was crazy, yo. Here we go. Before he starts rapping, just let me say, Drez was smooth as can be on the mic. For a minute, I wanted to be Drez. He was smooth as smooth can be.
Indeed.
Like this, that I've gotta crack a smile. If it's about anything, then it's gotta be style. What happens now? A better man can hold the mic and do the proving. Drez of the Black Sheep, yo, let's get the sheep moving. I'd like to pay a tribute to what to knockin' boots. I'm single and I mingle. If you jingle, I play this, but there's another. The brother on the cover. I brought along, long. A duo, not a trio, move your booty, cause I say so. We are lusting on a busting Black Sheep, not your average Joe. Now I hold a microphone, but this is what I wanted. A pocket full of panani, better me than those I fronted. Dropping bombs, lovely, make them jet without their jetta. Keep frontin' if you're wantin', but I bet you that Beretta punctuates and exclamates. The lingo I let go, not that it's my style, cause I let go my ego. Be it just us, just you, just me, or just who? Never am I full. Got to get residuals pronto. Tonto was engine number 9. I'm out to get the nickels, quarters, pennies, and the dimes. But in the meantime, I try to hawk one. In the meantime, not in the meantime. I try to hawk one. In the meantime. And of course, he had the fast version to that too, where he kind of went crazy on that. This, to me, on the Black Sheep was the perfect name for them. Drez, at least back then, he even had he almost looked like he had the face of a sheep.
Yes, I always thought the same thing too.
But he was cool as hell. Like, he wasn't like Jay-Z, where he looked like Joe Camel from the Cigarettes. It wasn't that type of. No, I went too far. Okay. Peace to Jigga Man. So anyway, but he looked like a sheep. And the music, even some of the samples in some of these songs, right? Exactly. The Bridges Over.
Bridges Over sample.
You hear certain horns and samples in here. It sounds to me very sheepish. Like their beats felt like this is what a Black Sheep beat or song should sound like and feel right. Like
rebellious, outside the box.
Yeah, you know,
but
still cool as hell. Like rebellious, not like a yelling rebellious necessarily.
Right, with the exception of the first track.
Right. Okay, let's keep moving.
See? Dad, I wish I was like Jordan, so I could just fly through the air, no one could ever stop me. Or like Mike Tyson, so I could just knock people's heads off. Nah, more like Prince, so I could pull all the honeys. Well, a brother like Chi Ali is pulling all the honeys anyway, but still, it would be nice.
What's going on, kid? Time for dress to begin. I see you grinning, I'm beginning to think that we're friends. And if we are friends, then we are far from fools. So I will venture to let you enter my sphere, cool? Now listen, I'm known as a black sheep. And if you try to pull the cover and attempt to sleep, you won't get rest, nah. You cannot sleep on this, for I make noise. See, anyway, a life inside a day is what I live in, though I wish that more I pray, but hey, I live on nonetheless. Through progress and regress, I've got my body and my intellect, I'm Buddha blessed. Now my chalantness, or rather lack of this, you call a spade, well I will call a spade a kiss. But in the meantime, you try to question that. And if the source is worship, boss, I get a verbal back. Until I get through that we are rich with wealth. Can you understand that you should be yourself? Have you any pull? Have you any pull? Have you any pull? Or are you full of sheep trying to pull the wool? Have you any pull? Have you any pull? Have you any pull? Or are you full of sheep trying to pull the wool? What's going on?
That horn. Made your skin curl at the same time. Everything just. Yeah, the vibe on this album was thick. It was palpable. Like you could, oh man.
How many joints was on this album? Refresh my memory, please, because
I don't know off top. I believe between like 13 and 14. That was usually the sweet spot for a lot of them. Especially
yes.
14 was their number for a second.
And dude, the interludes, as I was telling you on the phone the other day.
Oh my God. Come on. There needs, I mean, like we said before, we almost need to do a whole episode that's just about album interludes because there are so many classic ones in the 90s.
Ladies and Lasm.
Look, Mad got it right here. He said 22 joints.
22. I felt like it was longer.
See?
I felt like it was longer. That's yeah.
Crazy.
Oh,
okay.
My God. Oh my God.
This one. Now this is the original. There was a few versions to this. I want to show the contrast in a couple of their original songs versus the remixes. Really interesting.
Yes.
So here's Strobe Light Honey, the original. Love this.
I skipped the line, I paid my dime, I hung my coat, and now it's time to move to the forefront, make my round, say peace, and give a pound, have a drink, get down. I'm on the floor, besides the door, the sound is rich, and I ain't poor. I'm looking for Susie, a Wendy, a Judy, but look at her. Well, look at her.
Who, me?
Yes, you, sweetie. Although it's hard to see thee, I see your silhouette, and what I see has got me needy. I'm needing for a second of your time, but then I reckon that a second is too short. Let me try.
You're slamming!
But anyway, I'd like to say, I'm dressed up, the black sheep give you play. Step out on the light, come show off yourself. Yo, I'm sorry, I thought you was someone else. I gotta go. Just don't know, and I just don't know. I gotta go. See, something ain't right. It's the strobe light.
Van Dam. Oh, man. Now, you and out. I cannot dig it. No, I cannot dig it.
Listen, hun. I mean, it's nice looking at you. I just have to go. My man is right over there. Where you going? I have to go. I'm on my way, Black. I'm on my way.
You have a number or something?
Listen, it's 765-4321.
What area code is that?
1-900.
He tried to break it to her as nice as possible. Listen, as slamming as you are, my man's calling me, huh? I'm on my way, Black. I'm on my way. 765-4321. What's the area code?
1-900.
Crazy.
That was like the audio version of that scene in Juice at the record shop.
Yo,
the homegirl turned around. She had the shorts look like fine from behind. She turned around and just Mr. Ed, like
her overbite had overbite. Like she almost put a dent into the top of her chest with those front two teeth. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, Nicole, what's going on with you? Better late than never. Thank you for tuning in.
Peace. What up, Nicole?
Appreciate you.
Mad that you can't speak about women in a non-disrespectful way anymore. X this and around the way, girl. Yeah, it's different now. It is. She said, really, this was the album version. I like this one, and I thought there was one song that I didn't like, and I thought it was this one. So, okay. So this is the album version. The video version is very similar to this. The video version is very similar to this. They just kind of spiced it up a little bit, which to me hurt this song a little. It still was cool, but it was like you didn't need to add these extra bells and whistles to that. But then the ultimate remix, which is a whole different tempo and vibe, but same lyrics, is beautiful. It gives a whole different feel. Check this out. Them horns. Here we go, Vic. We're getting sexy up in here.
I skipped the line, paid my dime, hung my coat, yo, and now it's time to move to the forefront, make my round. Say please, give a pound, I've been drinking down. By the door beside the dance floor, the sound is rich and my pants have pockets. Y'all remember Susie, Wendy, and Judy? Well, look at her, oh look at her. You, who me? Yeah, you, sweetie. Though it's hard to see me, I see your silhouette, and what I see has got me needy. Need it for a sec, but I reckon that a sec might be too short. Let me try. Slamming. But anyway, yo, let me say, I'm dressed up the black sheep, giving you play. Step out of the light and show up yourself. Wait a minute, back up. I thought you was someone else. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. Don't go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. Don't go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. Don't go. Just don't know. I just don't know. Gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. Don't go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. Don't go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. Don't go. See something ain't right. It's the strobe light. Listen to me.
Yo. You know, it's crazy. That strobe light thing, that goes for male or female. We've all had a case where we was in the club somewhere, saw something, saw a PYT or a PNP.
Oh, so we thought.
So we thought. And once they got out that strobe light, they was looking like a Wookiee. Right. They was looking like a Wookalar. You know what a Wookalar is? That's half human, half pig, boy. He was looking like a Wookalar.
You ain't right, man.
Looking like a Wookalar. Okay. And here's the next song. So this is another one with that example. Here's the original for Similac Child. Ooh, God. Yes. And when this dog starts barking, it's over for me. It's over. Where is this dog? I want to bring this dog home. I want to bring this dog home. It's it's just so melodic and beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
When I first saw ya, I thought that I knew ya. Now I know I don't, just wish that I did. Honey made a right, stepped off, took flight. Upstairs, up more, made a left and hid. Looked down at my shoes and the cuff in my slacks. Hand inside my pocket, came out with something sticking. Double mint goes in my mouth. Jaws are breaking north and south. Look around to see who's looking. Figure that my breath was kicking. So in the bathroom I go, and fixing his fro. You guessed it, the long one. What's up, black? Goes the hand smack. I get the feeling that it's time for some black sheep fun. The club is on the bourgeois urinal holding a cigar. Then you never know. Probably a filly. Long cracks and smile. Oh no, here it comes. Then says,
Yo, Drez, honey made you look silly.
step back in the joint, and yeah, it's kinda funky. My breath no longer kicking, so now it has pep. Strobe light, how that I don't know. Walks up, asks long sign. We quickly do the step. Where you at, honey? Where you at? Where you at, hun? Where you at? Where you at, hun? Where you at? Then I change my style. Moving through the crowd, the smoke has got me choking. Funny that I'm choking, could it be that I am smoking? Pounds are going round, but this is nothing new. Hoping that eloping with a dip is what I'll do.
Smooth.
System's kinda booming like a drop and call it Sonic. Find the board, kid, my state of mind with like a tonic. There she goes. Where? Take my thoughts out of the dumps. Long, over there, look at bumps. From the time that she was born, she was raised to be all that. Gave her no food, strictly Similac. Felt like a punk on Dick Street.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna go to the remix now. Look at the drastic difference, but it's still beautiful, just in a whole different way. More them horns. This sounds so Black Sheep. Their music was so Black Sheep.
Now when I first saw ya, I really thought I knew ya. But now I see I don't, and I wish that I did. Honey made a right step off, took flight upstairs, up some more. She made a left and hit. Looked down at my shoes and the cuff in my slacks. I know I got styles and that the sheep can attract. Came out with something sticking, double mint, you know it. Yo, you think my breath was kicking? Now in the bathroom I go, and fixing his throat. The sugar daddy, Mr. Long. What's up, mister? Smacking his fist up. Say keep punching this fight, the link will come. Cause we're on the one, gotta get the job done. Now come on, cousin, let's go have some fun.
Yo.
Wow. Wow.
Like they were saying, they would have the album would have the smooth version, and then the remix was just this beefy thing. And of course, there's more of that. Where that came from, we'll get to that. Okay, we're gonna just keep going.
And damn, you see what kind of flavor I want? Do I want vanilla?
Come
I
on,
want
y'all.
to taste the chocolate. Nah, I want something different. I want something slamming. What's the slamminest flavor out this one? Let's see. Yo, Black. What flavor are you?
Listen, for a second, I reckon I got you double checking. Then again, when to your needs did I beckon? Hold me only if you wanna get naked. Play me for the crowd only if you wanna wreck it. The name is Drez, like silk I get slick. Drop rhymes like a bass head, big flicks. Constantly, yes, it's me, D-R-E-S. So yes, I guess unless you're fast, you can get down to serious business with this. I never boned a honey that I didn't like. I never saw a mile that I couldn't hike. I never had a spliff to make me choke. I never had a pocket that was broke. Hate no one but love only a few. Franklin Grant and yeah, mom too. I run buck wild for self but with the crew. But then again, I thought you knew. Now I hear a voice. Is it what you want? I hope it is, kid. You're the flavor of the month. I heard you got the fever for the flavor. I heard you got the fever for the flavor. I heard you got the fever for the flavor.
Somebody said you had it going on.
I heard you got the fever for the flavor. I heard you got the fever for the flavor. I heard you got the fever for the flavor. Hurry up and get a scoop before it's gone.
That was the first time we heard them, and
my joint.
I was lost.
My joint. My joint.
Yeah. Yeah. It just reminds me, there was a second that I was really into Drez. Like I was like, who is this dude? How do I become this smooth? Like he was just smooth and he was unique and he fit right in Like to me, he had the oddness of De La to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But they were their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
The way the brother was dressed in the video, he had the cane, Mr. Long. Like, yo, I never saw anything like it prior to him.
No,
you had Big Daddy with the long, jacket, smooth and everything, but it was just different. It was different.
Yeah,
it was totally different.
Yeah, that was definitely
totally
a call,
different.
not a jam. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna just keep going for the sake of time. We're
please, brother, please.
A couple of minutes over, but we're gonna try to stay close. We're almost done here.
Listen, hun, I mean, as slamming as you are and all that good stuff, it ain't doing me
La
no good.
Minaj featuring Q-Tip.
You have too many clothes on. So why don't we just take this cab and slide on uptown and slip out of all of this uncomfortableness of the world around us. You know what I'm saying, babes? Matter of fact, listen to me, honey. Honey, listen here, please. If sexy were a virus, then you have a disease. What? Slamming is your styling. Let me speak for a while and tell you all about the grand slamming. Why you smiling? Let's do the uptown slide. Don't need a transport or a ride. We only need a cab with us inside. Finally, we got uptown. And when we got uptown, honey's drawers came down. Did the audio visual. She had the residuals. Bar, dress. Now tell me, have you any call? I said, honey, again I said it slow. Coming out the boxes and my joint was surely grow. Then she started feeling. Guess it was appealing. I thought of slamming girlfriend from the floor to the ceiling. We started 5 play. She said that she would come. I said it wasn't foreplay because I used my thumb. Nibbled on the neck. Oh, what the heck? She said 1, 2, 1, 2, and went down for a mic check. Her mic sounds nice. Check 1. Her mic sounds nice. Check 2. She did this till it was all gone. I told her slow down, but she kept on.
And on and on and on. She kept on and on and on. And on, she
you gotta do something about those wisdom teeth. Oh, you're sounding good as a CD.
Hold up. Everything on the low in the background. Mr. Long said, "You gotta do something about those wisdom teeth." He's like, "Yo, you're sounding good as a CD." Watch, listen.
Oh, you're sounding good as a
she kept on.
Oh, you're sounding good as a
she kept on.
Told her slow down, but she kept on.
And on and on and on, she kept on. And on and on and on, she kept on.
You gotta do something about those wisdom teeth.
On and on, she kept.
You gotta do something about those wisdom teeth, honey. Wow.
The ad libs, crazy. Everything.
We gotta go to tips first.
And then I suggested Mr. Long. Don't get offended about the position. I recommended doggy style is my shit. The bottom is what I hit. I didn't eat her or read her, just beat her. Bonita.
Tipping sugar dick, blazing trails of evil. Knowing you got the felts, cause I sure enough got the needle. Now put them on the arm that protrudes like a stick and live up to your label, Mr. Long Sugar Dick. As the dookie hits the fan, in comes the horny man to finish up the task. So I'm scoping out that ass. Long, she wants it. Her hand spreads the butt cheeks. Tip plus long plus the hoe equals wet sheets.
Yo, somebody, I want that time. Somebody give me a hold. Give me a hold. Somebody.
I'm not even gonna go into the ad libs of this.
Oh, the crazy. My man talk. Let me pee on you. Let me pee on
you. Like they was up in there wilding. Everybody was butt naked and just going nuts. Up in that poor lady. Oh boy, it was madness. Madness. Okay, we're gonna do a few more things. Here we go. Them Black Sheep beats. It just sounds like Black Sheep.
Now when you see me, it's me that you see. And when you see Long, yo, that's who he be. Never been one for frontin', G. How we get so fly came naturally. Make it a point to sleep till midday. A job, okay? When we do a rise, it's time for brunch. Ham and eggs to Pig's Feet and Captain Crunch. Then we get dressed to bed.
Pig's Feet and Captain Crunch, really? Really? He did say it was time for some pig's feet and Captain Crunch. Really? How did you even make it out of the 90s with that type of diet, brother? What was your metabolism like? Pig's feet and Captain Crunch. You bring a chick over. Ooh, what you making? Pig's feet and Captain Crunch. You could have one and you could have both. It's up to you. And which do you eat first? I guess the Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch, right? Go down easy because that pig feet come.
Listen, right.
Oh my
you know
God.
what? I might need some of that crunch in the beginning. And then when I start eating them pig's feet, I'm going to need some crunch to go on top of that to help it go down. Because them pig's feet is a mother.
Oh my God.
Okay. I'm sorry. I did want to stop that, but I was like, is that what these? Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to keep going, brother. Oh,
this
a walk off. Oh, wow.
The sugar dick daddy, Mr. Long, and myself make up this group called Black Sheep. Now, I knows a lot of hoes. And being that I knows a lot of hoes, I get asked a lot of times, Drez, what's it with you and all those hoes? Well, check it. Let me put you down, up on a riddle. I'm the type of brother that is swinging with a fiddle. Out to get a lot because I never like a little, which is why I ban a dip that claims she's in the middle. Met a honey riding on the truck.
Was that a shot at Moni?
Kind of dope. He said that I could call her Molly. Said she had a lover that went by the name of Polly. As she kicked it, I thought that I should dolly. She said, Polly want a cracker, but the dip is not desired. Cracker got a honey, though she's about to be fired. He wants to get Anna, better yet, he wants to bone her. Anna's got a man, though, and I don't think he will own her. I said, honey, I said it slow. Coming is my stop, and I really have to go. Not to cut you short or to interrupt your flow, but what's up with the mojo? She gave a big grin. I knew that she was with it. We stepped off and we Nike. We just did it. Boots were kind of fly. Yeah, I like the way they fitted. Honey was the woman, and to her I did admit it. Lathered up the nuts, and I changed my shoes. Took off the browns and put on the
lathered up the nuts.
On the paper called the Daily News. And today's headline reads, "Hey, you can't snooze." After she was dressed, we both.
Yo. He said, never in my life did I ever hear anyone describe cleaning their balls as lathered up the nuts. Let's see, that's how smooth this dude was. He was
real talk.
It made me want to be able to say that. Okay, yeah, no, I'm lathering up the nuts. I'll be right with you. Lather up the nuts.
Oh man,
yo, that was classic, dude.
It really is.
I wish more of these groups, especially in native tongue, had the opportunity to shine even longer. You know, because once they went to their second album, it wasn't like this, and then it was this album.
I love that first single, so I was amped. But the rest of the album didn't nowhere near this type of caliber.
No,
like when you hear Drez and Long on this album, you hear that confidence of a super MCs. Truly,
yes,
these brothers were the definition of super MCs. Truly,
yeah.
The confidence was just like you said, lathered up the nuts, like just threw on the cake like some James Brown in the Mirror type, like. Just lathered up the nuts.
Yeah, lathering. Like I was like, do I use something other than soap for lathering? Like, is there some other product I should use? Does soap help me lather? Because I didn't know if I ever lathered before or not. I was just scrubbing my sack.
Oh man.
Okay,
this is true, brother. Mad Non, he made a good point. Creative differences, unfortunately.
Yes, it did. Creative differences. Okay, we're gonna finish up. We just got a couple more to go. I know Vic definitely wanted to hear this. Black with envy. Envy meaning no vision, like the letter NV. Black with no vision. Check out these lyrics.
I was told to never bite off more than I could chew, but then you better bite enough, or if you don't, my boy, you're blue. Now I wonder, can others see the size that my eyes see, or do they see and say they don't and blame it on society? The days I spent on earth come to over just 8,000. And as I live, I learn because there's always someone mouthing, speaking on an issue. Praise you or they dish you. Long as I'm strong, the words fly by me like Scott tissue. My people, from nigga to negro to man of color, killed my father and my brother so that you could rape my mother. Now you wonder, why is it through instinct of fear? Wouldn't dare me to steer. One for self, you're out of here. Not to worry, to harm you, not intention of my creed, but to stop your greed and give me what I need. Opportunity for a life for me, and generations to come within tranquility. Yes. Now harmony is a total other things for those who are inclined to better yet like to sing. But peace of mind, it is my right before the spark will ignite. Till I can catch a cab in town at midnight. Till I can be myself and not be thought of as worse. Till I can buy a slice from Howard Beach to the hearse. Till I can get to play without fear of eject. And occupations which I seek I can have if I select. Now if I so select and reach out to make touch, how can you say that I ask for too much?
Don't speak to me if the times are grand that your life be. Don't tell me if the countries over islands that you see. Don't tell me to be trying. You know I won't agree. Double negative means positively black with envy.
As a player of the
yo. They had dope records. They had important records. They just had it all in this album.
Dude, the combination, excuse me, of that interlude prior to that song with my man in the taxi with the Arabian dude.
Yeah.
1 minute I'm just falling out, rolling, cracking up, dying, laughing. And then the next few seconds he takes me into a record like this.
Yeah.
That's just thought-provoking and deep and just like, oh man.
Yeah.
Again, another album with so much range, creativity, diversity, super MCs.
Yeah. And all of these albums had messaging, it had vibes, it had soul, it had spirit, it had identity, it had very little cursing. And you rarely heard the N-word or other than, you know what I'm saying? Even for the song Hoes, we know. Remember, there was an interlude where Drez and Long were trying to convince this chick, Ho is short for honey.
Yes.
Whenever I say ho, that means honey.
Right.
I mean, they were being playful about that whole thing. But yeah. Okay. We got
you never had an uproar. You never had anybody trying to cancel. There was never any, it just wasn't like it is now with the ultra sensitivity.
I'm not even there.
Let's not even, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole, Okay, so these last two. So this one is a song that's rarely heard, kind of almost like an unreleased Black Sheep song called On the Wall. That was pretty dope.
I would definitely say so, to say the least.
That was pretty dope. And actually, that came from the Trespass soundtrack.
Yeah. I remember. I thought I heard that off of some soundtrack. I couldn't remember exactly which one, but yeah.
Rarely played. So, I mean, this is what everybody's been waiting for. It's the end of the night. You already know they had an original to the song that was really dope. You know what I'm saying? And great. But then, you know, the remix did this.
Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come.
This or that. 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 This or that.
Yo, who's the black sheep? What's the black sheep? Know not who I am or when I'm coming, so you sleep. Wasn't in my home or wasn't in your sphere. Knew not who I was, but listen here. Press D-O-E-S, yes, I guess I can start. If it's alright with you, I'll rip this head joint apart. Back middle to the front, don't front. Want a good time, wanna give you what you want. Can I hear a hey? Can I get it, yo? You got a hat, it's for the house. This thing is creative, black sheep of the native. Can be violated or even decepticated. I got brothers in the jungle, cousins on the quest. Devin-toited uncles and big-harvest may they rest. Yes, which way, what way, how? Mr. Long Dress, black sheep slam now. Know you heard the others, only to the lovers. Then of course, the choice is yours.
You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, cause this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that.
Let's not even play around. We know what part we need to get to. Let's just get there. Let's just get there.
Get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, cause this is kind of fat.
Engine number 9 on the New York Transit line. If my train goes off the track, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Back on the scene, crispy and clean. You can try, but then why? Cause you can't intervene. We be the outcast, down for the settle. Won't play rock, won't play the pebble. Open the door, you best believe we're sliding through it swiftly. Niftily, we can make it hip to be. What we're all cause, what we be. Be the epitome, do, die, dippity.
So now I dwell just to say you plain up. Hold your cup, cause I got the container. Pass the plate up, cross the fader. Black sheep can play like the Sony Innovator. Never the traitor, party of later. And you can get a scoop later.
You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, cause this is kind of fat. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, cause this is where it's at, where it's at, where it's at, where it's at.
Yo, shout out to my wife who does the illest hip hop karaoke of that song. I'm telling you, she's got the dopest MC rapping voice. Oh, she kills it. She kills it. Not even being biased, like she kills it. Yeah, man.
That song, all-time classic. I saw 383 said, I'm not even sure I've heard the original. I would play it, but at this point, you know, we're in it for the night. It's similar to this. It is. And the first two verses are there. Just the third verse was something else. But that acoustic, that upright bass, is not there. Doom, 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 doom. That's right there. That's everything.
That's
and mind you,
piece, exactly.
When that remix was made by Mr. Long, because he made a lot of the music for this group, when the original was made, you know, it was dope. But this remix was made after, and I will always say this, after Low End Theory dropped. When Low End Theory dropped, see, people got on the jazz tip by the time, you know, Tribe did their first album. It was all jazzy and beautiful and groovy.
Mm-hmm.
Low End Theory literally was that low end. It was those upright bass sounds. It was that the darkness in jazz music. And once everyone heard Excursions, suddenly not going to be able to do it came.
Yes.
Oh, and literally not going to be able to do it used an upright bass sample and the same drum break of Excursion. Come on.
boom.
And then the horn. Like,
Yeah.
Low End Theory opened that whole thing up.
Ushered
And
in
this
the whole
remix
sound.
happened right after Low End Theory. You know what I'm saying? So it was a beneficiary to that whole thing as well.
Great points, man. Great points.
Anyway.
Wow.
All right, so we're gonna end for the night. We've gone over. You see what I'm saying? Tonight was crazy. These albums, whoa.
I would say justifiably so, because we had to get that Black Sheep in. It just, we had to tie everything together perfectly. And brother, salute to you. The song selection from these albums. It's hard to sandwich everything in together for 2 hours because it's just too much of just incredible music. But you did an excellent job. Shout outs to you, everyone that tuned in, the comments, the knowledge of all this amazing hip hop history. 383, big ups to you, like just Nicole, everybody, just big ups to everybody. Inspired Artist Movement, salute.
Glenn,
absolutely,
Mike, everybody tuned in.
Mike Rose,
Next week's episode, we're telling you the topic already. Next week's episode will be John's Joints. So just like we had an episode where it was the Vic reactions, we were playing songs that Vic either walked off to or did the towel throw in or something. I will be playing songs that really blew my mind in this time. You know, so next week's going to be crazy because we're going to be dipping in stuff from Super MC and Super R&B. So there's going to be a lot of stuff. So that means, Nicole, you might want to tune in next week because you might hear some R&B. You're going to hear some R&B that you're going to love and some other stuff too. Salute to everybody.
Salute. And just to let y'all know a little behind the scenes discussion before the show started, I offered to come through to do this show in person with this brother here, and he advised me not to because he said it's going to be crazy, it's going to be ugly. He said I need enough room space and towel space and everything that I need from where I'm sitting now. To just make sure his crib is still in one piece after the show. It's going to be that crazy. It's going to be that crazy. So I'm just letting y'all know. I don't even know what's about to happen, but it's going to be crazy.
I don't want him here. I don't want him here for the episode. I was like, he's going to break everything up. I might break everything up. At least if I do, I'm on the D. You see what I'm saying? He got to stay home. In fact, he might have to go somewhere else. We might have to do a GoFundMe to rent out a padded room and straight jacket for him to join us in. She said this part, always like singing along to this part when I was out of state so I could rep NYC. Yep. I'm sure she's talking about The Choice Is Yours.
Yeah, no doubt.
New York Transit line. So next week's gonna be crazy. This was beautiful, this episode. We thank all of y'all for tuning in. We love and appreciate each one of y'all like we love this hip-hop.
I'm sorry. I just, to Nicole's point, I was just thinking what's ill about that song too, as popular as a hit as it was, these were the days of no hooks. You be in the clubs, you be at the parties, rocking, dancing, losing your mind, and there was no hooks. Like when that engine number, like everybody got like down. We did. Exactly. To come up and just lose their mind. And he was spitting throughout the song too. He was killing it.
He was killing it.
Crazy. I just had to point that out. I love this.
You're right. Love it. I love this hip hop, and especially what they call or consider this golden era. I'm not knocking any other era because listen, we were hearing around for the era right after the golden era, which was still ours, was 96, 97, and into the early 2000s, but which had some great stuff. But this era right here, the content was aligned with what I felt, the music, the vibe, the everything. It matched up. It just matched up for me. It just matched up.
You got to have the wife you on to perform it. Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna definitely convince her to do so. She has to. Y'all have to hear it. She absolutely kills it.
I would love to hear that. You know what I'm saying? we got to do some things like that, like a Super MC karaoke or like a Super MC game night. I want to come up with a Super MC game.
Definitely down.
Work on that. We got some good things to come, y'all. We definitely got some stuff coming in the new year. But anyway, we're going to leave for the night. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to check Brother Vic at the address that you see beneath with him. That's at Vic Virtuous. Please subscribe to the Super MC channel. Mad said the good stopped after 2005, except K-Dot and Cole. To some degree, yes, I agree. There were some other things in that mix, yes, but for the most part, you're absolutely right. At least in our opinions. So, peace.
Peace, y'all. Stay safe.
Come on, man. Take these brothers off the screen. Looking like they was taking a picture for. Okay, I ain't even gonna say it. Look a little sus. Just